All right, let me start. We're going to specifically talk about our physical therapy wellness program at FCSN, but I want to back up a little bit. I started at FCSN at least 6 years ago, and probably 7. And as of last month, I had to fill out a volunteer hours form for the city of Campbell because I think they're going to recognize everyone again at this great luncheon. We've went over 2,000 hours that they volunteered for the city of Campbell at Morley Park in the last 2 years. So they really worked. That park, if you've never been there, is pristine. The nicest park, I think, anywhere. So we thank Greg and the rest of the people that help out there for doing what they do. Far as what we're doing now, I want to thank Jeff's team member, Dr. Jed, the Charlotte over here, Jesse, me, Greg, and Ken, wherever Ken is.
He's on the road.
So I want to thank everyone for helping. Emily's been there. Anyone wants to come in on Wednesdays between 9 and 10:30, you're more than welcome to see what we do. So I was talking to Jen. I can't figure out, how we got this thing started, but let me try. Since I've been working with him for 6 or 7 years at the park, I noticed a few commonalities that they have with the rest of us. Some of them don't have physical endurance, some of them are fairly weak, some have balance issues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I talked to Jen, and I think I talked to Jeff and said, can we start a class to deal with these issues? Well, I went online. If you ever got online for autistic adults, physical therapy, or whatever you want to call it, there's really a lack of anything. Most of it's for young people, and there's very, very few for autistic adults that have a hard time speaking. So what we had to do is start from ground level, do it every day. We did it, something was different until we kind of got our act together, although we're still evolving and learning. But I would like, rather than me talking all the time, no, you don't want to start, do you? You want to start? Or Jen? Jen, why don't you start?
Start.
Ken, go ahead.
Stand or sit.
So I was trying, Bob and I were trying to remember when we started this, and I think what prompted it was, I was president of Rotary and I had a small daughter, and so I took a step away, and Bob and I reconnected, and I said, I really want to do something, but I want to do something that kind of fits with something that I'm really passionate about health and, something along those lines. So that was kind of how Bob and I started this. And like Bob said, there really isn't a whole lot of information about autism, and we really found out why. And that's because just like us, they all have individualized needs when it comes to their health, and they have, they really need one-on-one attention in order to get their optimum performance. So we've really kind of just played with that as we've gone along. And it's just been amazing. I left last Wednesday, and it's so funny because it's like I'm supposed to be there to help them, but I think in a lot of ways I've been so transformed and helped by this process of seeing their transformation. And I was telling Bob, excuse me, I was telling Bob that physically they have a lot of limitations and challenges of all various types. But what they don't lack is they don't lack love. They don't lack commitment. They never say no. They have a willingness to always try. Sometimes they have a willingness to fail at things, but they will persevere beyond belief. And they just have so much heart. And I think I probably speak for all of us when I say that, like, it is a gift to be there with these guys and to see them evolve over the last, how many months has it been now? Maybe 6 months? It's been several months.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time.
It's been several months, and we've learned a lot, and we continue to learn, and I think we're continuing to try to grow and figure out like how we can best help. And I think every week we learn something a little bit different and new, but it's informative, I think, for them and for us. It's like very inspirational to see what's possible, and they are capable of doing things like some of the clients are able to do things that you and I could not do. And I think that's pretty impressive. So
I second what Jen said. I know that most of you heard kind of my experience of FCSN. It's just really, like Jen was saying, like it's very fulfilling when you get to go into a room and they're excited to see you and they're just so willing. Like we do a lot of really fun things. So we try to make the exercises not feel like a chore, like, okay, you gotta do this, stretch. We try and incorporate things like noodles or
Musical
yeah,
chairs.
musical chairs is a huge favorite. Yeah, we love that. And, you know, just trying to make it something that's more interactive for them versus where, you know, it's like, okay, we're gonna lay down on that. You don't want to, we don't want them to feel like it's a challenge or work. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So-
our second class, it kind of evolved that, the second class, they each do a dance move. And that's how we kind of warm up. So we have a circle and then each person will go in the middle and do a dance move. And we just do whatever move they're doing. And I think that's tremendously fun and it's interactive and engaging, which ultimately with autism, it is a neurological, we a lot of nervous system issues and neurological issues. And so social connection, interaction is probably one of the best things you can do is, and for all of us, it's like, you want to go, if you're going to go work out, you want to have fun and you want to do it with people that you enjoy being around. And it's just so fun to start every Wednesday in that class doing that. I think that's like and I get to see Bob do great dance. I just find it incredibly entertaining. And probably he finds it entertaining too.
Great, you're next. Great. I should say, Jesse, I think, came on first, right?
Yeah, well, I think Bob had invited me probably 6 weeks ago to come and I've been pretty consistent with my attendance.
Girl.
Another thing that's really cool is that they're helping each other. Like, I feel like a lot of them step in when one's maybe having a bit of a challenge, the others will like, they'll encourage them or help them hold themselves up, whatever that looks like. It's really cool to see them like take on their up. So then I didn't notice that the first few weeks I was going, and then all of a sudden they like really were starting to feel more confident in what they're doing. And I think consistency too, like we're doing a lot of the same things, but we're adding on different levels of the word I'm looking for. We're challenging it, exactly.
Yeah. More challenging.
Great, you have a special partner there.
I do have my buddy Randall. See, Randall was telling me yesterday he was born in 52. And he's got his own routine that he goes through almost every week. He's got weights. First he just comes in and grabs his hand weights and I'll sit there and do most of the routine with him. But the cool thing about Randall is, and we'll pull the pictures up in a second here, is that everything that everybody else is doing, even though he has some lower mobility issues, he's just like his legs are stiff. He will find a way to adapt to do the exercise that they did people doing push-ups yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So Randall's over against the piano and he's doing push-ups against the piano. So yeah, no, it's really cool to to watch him and everybody else. Even yesterday in particular, one of the participants, Anthony, Anthony's usually very resistant to do most anything, but Bob's been working with him almost one-on-one every week. And one of the things Anthony does not like to do is to lay down and kind of open and stretch his chest. And he was sitting there and, we had a ball or something and he was not interested. And then I noticed that he was looking at Bob and he's like kind of leaning down. I'm like, Bob, he wants you to do those chest stretches. There he was. He was like, and all of a sudden Anthony was he was like a whole different person yesterday. He just really, was wanting to be involved. And it's kind of cool to see those changes in the people that are participating. I think it's good all around.
Is Ken, are you online?
Yes, he
He's
was.
muted.
Ken,
Yes, I'm online.
want to say a few
I'm
minutes?
not having a drive. I can't believe Greg forgot about his special buddy, Sean Carter.
Oh, Sean Carter
Okay.
too, yeah.
Yeah. No, so what I'll say, I mean, everything, just echo everything you guys said. I mean, right now it's amazing how in the beginning, like you throw a ball to them and it would bounce off their chest. And now you throw a ball to them and they catch it and throw it back. So it's, I mean, it's remarkable. And then it's almost like they're getting more comfortable, more verbalization in terms of communicating with us. And I mean, it's very impressive. And Dr. Jen, you look very nice dressed up.
Normally I have like my leggings and my workout gear on, just for work today.
Yeah. So
And
anyway,
Ken
I think it's
still on the road. Huh?
Yeah. you look
Hey,
good.
look, Ken.
Ken, while we have you,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna kind of just break rank for a minute. Do you have any dates in specific that you want to announce that are important dates?
So I'm sure Bob's going to talk about it. So this Sunday, the 16th, we will be painting benches and barbecuing. So if you're able to on Sunday, I know like Dave Olson, there's a group that have already signed up to help barbecue and help paint. So I'd love to have you do that. I know on the 15th, Bob will probably talk about that, or finishing up the fence projects. And then, as I mentioned every single time, July 13th and August 23rd, just make sure you have those, because those will be 2 fundraising opportunities for the club, and we'll be doing catering out at Spence. So just keep those open if you could.
And June 6th,
That's about it.
sorry, May 6th?
Sorry.
Basically, a charter party, but I feel like maybe someone else is going to take the reins on that. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed.
Yes, with someone.
I would love for someone to do it just one time, but and that's our charter party. So that is at the Horseman's also, and it will most likely be usual. Let's figure out what's going on in terms of the Kentucky Derby. So just keep that date open in terms of mid-afternoon into the evening.
Okay, Ken, and we do have somebody else to take care of that for you.
All right. Annabelle, Vivian. Who wants to go?
Sorry.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
I can go. I can talk about what I heard from the parents. So, I think because like what Dr. Chen said, a lot of time parents already have that physical limitations since they were born or as they grow. And parents already like maybe forgot about it already because they feel like, oh, there's nothing they can work or help them improve. So, but after the training, and then Dr. Jen was saying a video that they can do it at home also. So the parents can do it with the clients, or the live-in staff can do it with the client. But you can continue to do the muscle and they feel much better. And I remember like Greg was having a shoulder pain, like where we do the exercise, like but then like I think like it's and all he's complaining about shoulder pain, like there's nothing much that the mom can do about it. And Roger was like thank you so much like for having this and really like work on like those why causing the sugar pains and how to avoid it and how to just like prevent it, all those different. So it's really helpful on the parents, very thankful from the parents' side. Because those problems existing so long and it seems like not a problem already. And then they figure out like something. So they continue to working with them. So I really thank you for Bob and Dr. Jen to start to think about having this class. Yeah.
Annabelle.
Yeah, so I think I have nothing much to say because they already shared a lot, but it's just like I think FCSN is so blessed to have people like Bob, Jen, and our other volunteers to help elevate the lives of people. So actually, like the last time I spoke with Bob and Dr. Jen mentioned about Jonathan being very strong, because Jonathan, one of our clients, really showed great improvement. And I was in a meeting with Daddy yesterday, and I told him like, we have like a professional working doing Cairo, and he was so happy and so glad. let you know that we pay more attention to this client who really need more help. So we are bringing with these people who have been extending their talents and skills to improve the lives of our.
Okay, I'll, well, I guess you're not supposed to pick any more.
No.
I'm not allowed to speak. Picture.
Well, Jeffrey's just chomping at the bit over here.
She's got a picture of other job, and then she can take over for you.
Well, I'll do it. This is we've divided the groups into two, and this is our first group. They are physically challenged far more than our second group. And Julie or Janice is on the left. And one of your employees works with her one-to-one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
one-to-one.
one-to-one, because she has some severe
Yeah.
physical issues. Anthony is that's Anthony right there in front with never wears his mask up. I don't know where he comes from. I work with him extensively. He has, as Dr. Greg said, he's extremely high. He can only maybe go like this at the most, or like this. So we're working on just stretching his upper body chest. And I think someone said his mother passed away recently or something. He's very, very needy, extremely needy. So I spent a lot of time with him. Jojo lays back. And who works with Jojo? I guess we all kind of work with Jojo.
Bounce around.
Jojo is probably 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he's a big guy. You're right, Greg. He's big.
But Jojo first came to the class, I mean, he was just kind of like this. Now he's kind of dancing and moving, and he can kind of raise his hands. But when you get done working with the first group, you're exhausted, because I'd say Jojo's arms probably weigh 100 pounds each, and holding them up, and you just go like this. So Jojo's made a lot of progress. Great, there's Greg. Greg's been with me for all this time. And you got to know Greg because he knows every politician and power broker in the city of Campbell. He knows them all. Sean Carter is next. He also has some limitations, but he's trying and he's doing better. Acton is on the far right. I can't figure him out yet, but he's doing well.
And he's like super high energy, like think like ADHD, like very hyper. And so it's just mostly just trying to tamper him down, like, okay, focus, like slow it down. It's always like going super fast.
He's one of those that's really encouraging.
Very
Like yesterday, he was encouraging JoJo. The tall guy to throw the ball, and JoJo just kind of started to bounce the ball, and now we're working on him like actually tossing the ball versus just kind of letting it roll off his hand. And Anke will be like, "Come on, JoJo, like tell it, like you know."
Say one more time.
Yeah, so with this group.
Oh, God.
They
Yeah, I know.
work more with
Couple martinis before bed.
Yeah, you need to mute.
with this group, we work more like posture, more one-on-one, looking at high concentration. They're mostly nonverbal, but the focus is it's more concentrated on, like with Greg, like, what you guys were saying with Greg is that, there's this belief, like with autism, like, just like sometimes for us, we feel like, oh, well, that's like, you go to the doctor, it's like, oh, that's all you can do. And it's like, no, I don't think you ever want to like accept that. Like you can, what do you call that? What's the head posture?
Yeah.
T-Rex. we're not a T-Rex, right? So we're not a T-Rex, so we get the head up, right? And I don't know who taught him that. It must have been his dad or something. But we talk about that and we laugh about that a lot, about not being a T-Rex. So we work on getting the posture up, so then he doesn't have that air pain going down his arm. That's just, basics is like, if you have better posture, then you don't have shoulder issues, the neck issues, the nerve pain. So we work on not being a T-Rex, right?
Yeah.
And what do you want to do? Like, what's your dream job?
He has a lot of those.
Doctor.
Doctor, what about?
What member?
Yeah, so I told him, I said, well, if you're gonna be a SWAT guy, you better like step up your exercise. They're very fit. And he told me, he said, well, I want to be a SWAT supervisor.
Son the top.
You're learning from Bob already.
Oh,
Yeah.
Spots around the SWAT guy.
All right, great. We move along. Alan was supposed to be here, but I guess he had a conflict. Alan, Down syndrome. Who wants to talk about it? This guy.
Alan is better than all of us put together, than any physical endeavor you can imagine.
He's kind of like the outlier. So with most of them, if they ever meet, or if they're ever met with resistance, they kind of just stop immediately. So like anything that's a little bit heavy or bends, once they hit, oh, this is kind of hard, they'll let go. Except for Alan. Alan will just go for it. He'll actually do more than what you asked him to do. And previously, I think at the, it's not Symphony Center, but we used to go to a gym at the San Jose City College, and he would be able to do deadlifts, powerlifting stuff. And he's a lot
would
stronger.
he be somebody that might want to do, the competitive game, I forgot, I'm losing what they are.
Special
Yeah,
Olympics.
thank you.
Yeah, I've been trying to get some of them into that. I know a lot of our other clients that are not in this class, like in basketball and like swimming and all other stuff. But yeah, powerlifting is something that we haven't really.
But I think it probably is something that they do in special, yeah.
But Bob, we're working on maybe sponsoring him or something, because he's incredibly strong. So I think it's something maybe we can look into getting him more involved in some of this competition.
So much fun too, like he likes to showboat, so we give him a lot of attention, like, wow, Alan, that's amazing. And so I always call him cartoon tigers, he'll go, yeah. He feeds off of it, it's like, it's fun.
I mean, extremely limber too. So he's all lower extremity muscle.
Your father, Bob, South Beach, laying on the beach coast. Spring break. 2023.
What is, one knee showing? Or something.
Runner Jack, and I.
He's got me with the
Rick
weight.
works a lot with Randall, as you can tell.
Well, Randall works with me. He's working me out. I'm not working him out.
Jesse, you're up next, 'cause there's your.
I love these girls and, they're just like, I mean, since I started participating, I think I friend and then
BFF.
connection and, she's extremely able and willing. We all have our challenges, so we have specific, Leanne on the right, she's the dancing queen race car driver, like she really loves to dance. And so specifically in this photo, we were listening to music and I told her like, go with the beat. Like, so she was lifting her arm, moving her arm with her weight with the beat. She was having so much fun. In the beginning, she wasn't as communicative as she is now. So now like she was doing this car movement, and I'm like, oh, you're
Yeah.
driving the car, and she told me, she corrected me, she said, no, I'm race weight.
I'm nice, right?
And so now she's our race car driver, and I think Jen will specifically play like certain music or songs, like the driver's license. I wasn't there that way, but I heard that you had played that, for her, and she was just driving around in her car, we'll play musical chairs.
I did know that was the first time I actually heard her be verbal. I had
Right.
never heard her really
Speak at all.
speak
Mhm.
at all.
And she, does her best to let you know she heard you, but she doesn't always say something in response. So it was really cool to see that over time, her level of comfortability. I think.
And she's very, both of the girls are very fit, like they're very able bodied and they're willing. I just appreciate that they're willing to try. Like, that everybody tries.
And is that Jonathan in the,
No,
Yes,
that's
that's-
not, yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
in the back.
so yesterday there was a little bit of a controversy.
There was.
Uh-oh.
So we always try to end with a little bit of musical chairs. And Daryl, who wasn't here yesterday, is the champion. He's won like 3 weeks in a row, and the rest of the group's not too thrilled with him. So Becky thought she had a really good chance to win yesterday. And she wasn't looking, and Jonathan slid right into the chair.
Not very.
So, Yeah, on the way out the door, I think she called him a cheater.
She did. Yeah, she
Yeah.
wasn't too happy with that, but it's been really cool to see them have fun, and we've tried a few different like games. We've done like
Yeah.
outside games and just where we have to touch each other's hands, so it's good for like our senses, touching hands, and then also just understanding synchronicity, knowing, okay, so when this person taps your hand, it's your turn to tap the next person's hand. Yeah, there's a lot of different activities that, I mean, just since we've been together, we really only meet once a week, so I only see Ben and Deanna once a week, and so we do our inbox. We do our best to just try and have new activities for them, which they look forward to and have fun with.
Do you have any resources you rely on, or you're just kind of self-inventing?
Both, we've tried to find some resources, but it's challenging because I think each of them have different challenges. So that's really, I think, the biggest challenge is it's not like, okay, you have like nonverbal and you have like, okay, you're limited, like in your lower body, like they're, each person's a little bit different. So we've basically kind of had to figure out when Bob and I met, I told him, I said, the most important thing to me is that they're having fun. If they're not having fun, I don't think we're gonna have a buy-in here. And we've made it really fun for them. And then I think now we're still kind of playing with like how we can continue to make it better and give them, now that the weather's getting nicer, we can do more team building and things like that.
Better and try the fresh, yeah.
But they're enjoying it and they're having fun and we can see a definite improvement, but we have a couple leads for resources, like I have a few people that we might be able to get in that can help guide us with some exercises and things like that. But I think for the most part, the proof is in the results, and I think they're engaging and, emotionally with each other, helping each other, are having fun. And we see like that in just 1 hour a week, they are improving and that their confidence is building. I think that's really, like, you need that. Right, Greg? You're gonna be in the podcast?
All right, another one. Great.
No, this is what we got. Now, Jeffrey, you're there full time. So, we're out. What do you see overall, like with what's going on Wednesdays? Is it affecting, the rest of the week? Are, things that can be incorporated? I don't, you have a much wider lens than the rest of us.
Well, they really do like exercising. So anything involving getting up, moving around, especially with Greg, he likes moving around. They get more excited in the beginning of the week. They're like, oh, the Jen's coming on Wednesday. Or over the weekend, they'll say, oh, we went out to go hiking or we went out to go walk. And that's kind of like what we're trying to do a little bit more. It's just to promote the healthy lifestyle. It also kind of falls on the parents too, because they're obviously taking care of them. So we kind of just, and it has translated bit into their own personal lives, I think. So I think it's been a very positive thing. And of course, like before with some of the other guys, like Joshua, Bob knows Joshua, I've done one like healthy living class like near the beginning of the pandemic, and every day he's been telling me, oh, I've eaten healthy today, or my lunch today is healthy. And then it's like, oh, you're not eating healthy. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, they're pretty astute, like, I think
Yeah.
it's pretty shocking, like when the new year hit, the Chinese New Year, like they all knew like their Chinese New Year signs. They said, what's your sign? And like, it blows my mind sometimes, like how they pick up on things, and then they apply it too, like, oh, okay. Oh.
Even with like Anthony, like you tell him like, oh, it's exercise time, you just start doing squats. That's a usual go to. So yeah, it's been good. Only issue is just to get them a little bit more motivated as soon as they get tired. They're like, okay, I'm done for the day. It's like,
They'll take the chairs out now.
yeah.
I understand the,
Remove the chairs.
I understand the risk, but is there any thought of doing something with the pool of swimming?
Yeah, we actually have had a program like we would go out to the Timpani Center, which is like right next to our center. We have been doing that just recently because of pandemic.
Yeah.
But we've been looking into starting that up again. A lot of them really do like that.
Yeah.
And they love playing around with the water.
Yeah, of course, in the weather, of course, is good, yeah.
Hopefully we can start that.
Okay, I'll wrap it up maybe, and then you can ask for any more questions.
Yeah, I've got a question. How many clients are there?
For our whole center, it's about 60 to 70. I think around 60, it's 70 including the staff. And for our class, we have first group is about 5 to 6, and then our second group is a little bit bigger. About 10.
So there's 60 or 70, but there's only 10 in classes total.
Yeah, for these ones where we start off with smaller group, because it's a little bit easier to like teach them, because with a lot of the lower functioning, you can work with one, the other one with just walk out the door, or work with a bigger group. One of them might not be listening to the family.
So, how many new clients do you have coming in annually and exiting annually?
Our center is actually maxed out. I think it depends on if the client leaves, then we can take in a new one. So we do have a wait list. So usually it depends on if we get more staff, or if we have a client that decides to leave the program, then we can just like bring in.
Sorry, we're running out of time. So I'll wrap it up, but anyone who wants to come out and see what we do, it's every Wednesday between 9:30 and 10:30. And
Where's the location?
location is FCS, and I don't know the exact address. I've been there sorting.
49 South Basco.
Right across from the community center on Bascom, just before BMC on the left-hand side, you'll see a sign that says FCSN, but be aware there's a huge construction project and it's a mess getting in, but if you're really interested, I'll tell you how to do it.